Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm going to do a little Christmas video, like FDR in 1942, whenever it was. I guess what I'm thinking has been how meager, I feel really meager emotionally, somewhat spiritually, socially, for sure. Um, and such is life, right? I came out to the desert and I made a big change last year after many years in LA. And so I'm finding my way, like as we all are. Um, I figured out the best time of Christmas is the weekend after Thanksgiving, when when it's still a long way away and everything just seems beautiful. And it is beautiful. And I've been going to mass almost every day, and the liturgy and the candles and the so I love Christmas. I have my place is all decked out and the cards, and I love it. And at the same time, we all look at the state of the world, and I think as you get older, you look over your life and you think, wow, have I even gone any, have I really sort of moved at all? But that is, and thus we have God born into the world as a baby under siege, a baby born to poor parents, and the light shines in darkness. The darkness does not overcome it, and meaning the light is always, the world did not know him, as it says in the beginning of John, and doesn't know him now, even less than ever, probably. However, we have the light shining in darkness. And so I wanted to read a few pieces. I've been on a Caryll Houselander kick again. I just wanted to read a few passages from her. And one of them is from this wonderful biography, That Divine Eccentric by Maisie Ward, which is talking about the sort of modern age. And this was back in the 40s, or even before, yeah, 1935 or so. She says, my position is that I am obsessed by the spirit of this age. With all its faults, I love it and I believe in it. I believe that it is the most serious duty I have to see, to recognize Christ in it, and to go on, never to go back, that all our modern inventions and conditions are to be used, cleared of abuses, and lifted up, but not swept away, that compromise with the present and a looking back to the past is a sin. I think this is very interesting because we have a lot of people who would like to go back in time, in the church and in the culture, pre-internet, and I can certainly be like that. And she says we should love the present age, and not obliterate it, but use it for the good. I think this is a very deep, because it means we don't get to sit around complaining and pointing figures. I find Pointing fingers. I find no sympathy with this view in the thought of my fellow Catholics, who seem to me to be always striving to return to the past and to set fierce limitations on the uses of the present. I find in this attitude a deadlock, a deadening and choking of effort. I do not trust myself to stand alone. I will not range myself among those who, though they clearly share my desires, do not share my faith in Christ. Consequently, I am tortured. I desire supremely and above all to be in perfect harmony with the whole world. So, as floated to mind the other night, kind of in the middle of the night as I lay musing on my bed, on you I muse through the night. Blessed are the poor in spirit. We want to comfort other people when they're poor in spirit, but we don't really want to be poor in spirit ourselves. And so I love that she said, I'm tortured. Blessed are those who hunger for righteousness, right? However, let me try to be a little more righteous myself. And then she's got this is from her letters. And this is from, she's writing to a friend who, as I do, often worry about being a little more useful. And she says, I would not worry over leading a useful life. There is nothing better or as good as bringing up your child and giving her the best possible chance for her soul. So this is a huge shout out to parents. You are doing the most important job in the world, however difficult and talk about meager, I'm sure many times it feels. People who are or think they are useful with a capital U are a real menace. They usually wreck the lives of every sensitive person for miles. One ought not to be useful, only just human and spiritually beautiful. God can fix things if we just become pliant and easygoing and don't try to do his job instead of him. Uh, so again, I think this didn't apply to me this year, but I know, but it has in past years, and I know many of us, we just get like kind of nutty around the holidays. I know I'm not, this is going to be perfect, and we have to have 8 kinds of cookies and etc. And I know for myself, I just want to hang out. I just want to, I don't really care what the house looks like or even what the food is like, though I love good food, but we just kind of want someone to be present with us, right? And sort of share a joke. Um, And then the last thing I'll read is a little passage about Charles de Foucault, who I think is he a saint now? He may be on the way to canonization. Many of you may know him. He was a contemplative French guy, 20th century, who went out, gave up his life, threw away his address book, and went to the desert, like literal desert, like the Sahara or someplace, and served the people there, the kind of tribal people there, and made not a single convert, and they eventually murdered him. So again, this is what it feels like sometimes, right? Um, but anyway, Caryll Houselander says of him, of Charles de Foucault, he had never, in spite of the strongest possible urge to go into the desert and found a mission there, made any converts there or anywhere, I think. But he knew and said that his life, which was apparently fruitless, was wholly worthwhile for one thing alone, namely to take the Blessed Sacrament into the desert. And I think he was found, when they found him murdered, like the monstrance was nearby. So he took the Blessed Sacrament into the desert. And isn't that what we're all called to do? And no matter how meager we might feel, is to bring love into our homes, among our friends and family, and our little neighborhoods and communities. And anyway, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for following along for those who do. A child is born.